Hello class, welcome to week 4. I've had a lot of fun with this class so far. Today I'll be critiquing 2 of my fellow classmates. I'm going to critique Adrian Curry and Stephen First. I'm going to critique them in just a few minutes, I don't know, but I will be critiquing myself first. I know I should practice a lot more before I give speeches, but I do feel comfortable talking to people, so I think that gives me a little bit of advantage when it comes to public speaking. Basically, if trees would talk back, I would talk to them. I noticed that I say a lot of ums and uhs, and I'm trying to work on that, but I have been speaking the same way my whole life, and it's hard to get into the mindset of a public speech to an audience. I know I need to probably redo some videos that I have submitted, but with my work schedule, sometimes I don't have time to perfect this. I should take more time with it, but sometimes the time restraints, because of the type of job I have, are too much to really correct all that much. Okay, so the first video I watched was Adrian Curry. He did Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. I'm very familiar with the speech. I mean, of course, if you're from this country or anywhere in the world, actually, you're going to know this speech. It's a very popular speech. The pros that I saw with this speech was you had great pitch in your voice. You can tell you wanted to get across that it was a dramatic speech, and he wanted people he had to speak loudly in order for it to be heard, and you did raise your voice in the correct points from what I can understand the speech was supposed to portray. So I do applaud you on that. You had a very powerful speaking voice during this entire video. The cons that I found is it almost seemed like you were reading a lot of the time, and another thing that really threw me off was the sway of the camera and how it swayed pretty much the entire time. I understand this is for a speech class, and it's probably just because you had somebody holding the camera. All I'm saying is I noticed it. It didn't overpower the prose of your speech. Your voice, the way you portrayed your voice, outweighed the con of how the camera was moving. Body movement was not overly great. I feel like you could have moved more with your hands. I am guilty of it too, mainly because 2 of my 3 videos that I've posted, I had the camera too close and you couldn't even see my hands. So, very good job on the speech, very good choice of the speech. And that's about all I have to say about it. Next, Stephen First. He did the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln. Again, another speech that any American and pretty much every country who has internet or reviews history know of the Gettysburg Address. My observations in the video is the fact that you can tell that you practiced this a couple times, at least a couple times before you actually did the speech, and I applaud you for that. You seemed like you were comfortable doing it to an extent. And I also believe there was a great setting for your speech. You had the brick wall in the back, and it just really felt like the right background to give that recitation speech. So the cons, even though I can tell you practiced the speech, you kept your hands kind of like this, and then occasionally did this, but there really wasn't much movement, and I get that. I don't really move much when I speak, unless I've been drinking, I guess. Then I move a lot. But body movement was the only thing I really would tell you to work on. Maybe it did seem like you were reading quite a bit, and you rarely glanced over at the actual camera. But it was a recitation speech, so I completely understood why you weren't looking at the audience the entire time, because it's not our speech. I didn't know it. I mean, I knew parts of it, but I didn't know. I could not do the speech without reading it either, so I wouldn't consider that much of a con. That being said, I really have enjoyed in this class with you guys, and I look forward to the next 4 weeks. I feel like there's a lot more to come, and I look forward to it. You guys have a good week.